Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. It's finally here, folks. It is the long-awaited greatest time of the year. And no, I'm not talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I'm talking about WrestleMania week. We got a stacked week of things to come. We've got a week that we still need to discuss. Tom and I are here. We are excited. We are ready. Let's go.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dude?
I like how watching our intro, you can kind of see how I got better at sculpting my beard through the whole. It's like a mess in some of them, and like now it's like all nicely like pointed and like.
Yeah, it looks great, Bob.
Thank you. It was a lot of. I practiced through the whole pandemic.
I remember my first beard.
What were you, 11?
Yeah. My 2020 pandemic beard was wild.
It was. I remember.
Unholy.
We were doing this.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, for those of you that don't know, I do work in food service, and like, you've got to have a well-maintained thing. And during the pandemic, well, I got to cover that whole fucking thing, so I just
was here.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise, so to speak.
I remember when you were like, I just want to see how long it'll go. I think it got about here, and that was all.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad down here.
It's too much. It's too much. Too much.
Yeah. We got Ashley into Fortnite, so they're helping her. They're helping show her how to customize the things and do all the things.
Oh well, that's.
We got her a couple victory royales already. We're rolling along. She just placed 14th by herself.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. We believe in her.
Do we? Are you sure we don't? Believe.
I mean, hopefully he comes back after Mania, and then we can believe again.
There's gonna be so much shit that's gonna happen after WrestleMania.
They're gonna have to put on a whole nother TV show. Mondays and Fridays aren't going to be enough, and Tuesdays, I guess, but it's like a whole different.
Well, I mean, according to them, they have unlimited runtime on Netflix, but only seem to use 2.5 hours of it every
pretty
week.
Consistently, 2.5 hours on the money. It's almost as if 2.5 hours is the runtime.
It's almost as if they're using the same format that they were on USA, just not having to allow for the commercial breaks.
Yeah, half hour less commercials. That's pretty much exactly the same. They're just like, well, we got this whiteboard all set up already.
I mean, and and if it's not broke, I don't know why you got to fix it. There's nothing wrong with the format.
What's the runtime on it? 2 minutes and 2.5 hours? Fuck it.
Nobody will notice.
You're good.
It's just commercial time. I mean,
yeah, there's just less people standing around the ring for 20 minutes before. That is the one thing they fixed on Netflix. Is that somebody in it for some reason it felt like it was Liv Morgan.
It was Liv Morgan.
When
she was in that ring for like fucking 27 minutes or some shit, man.
There was a lot of Liv Morgan dancing and like doing jumping jacks.
And like this, we're not talking Liv Morgan of today, Liv Morgan. We're talking like middle jobber Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Like hadn't quite figured out her place yet.
Had not yet won the title. Was not even yet like in that weird tag team with Rhea Ripley where they hugged a lot. Remember that? They were just like always holding each other.
Yeah, like, because Rhea Ripley came out and decimated her at this particular show that we're speaking of.
Yes, she did. after Liv stood in the ring for what felt like 30 minutes.
Because it was fucking 30 minutes. You're not going to change my mind. Like, it's just that there's no way that you're going to change my mind that woman stood in front of the ring for 30 minutes.
Just giving it the old, how's this shoulder feeling? What about this one? All right. Back to talking to people in the crowd.
Was that a goddamn chupacabra?
It was a little demon. My little black demon.
Is that chupacabra new?
No, this chupacabra's been around. She just I don't know. She's weird. Usually she's like kind of asleep right now, but for whatever reason she's awake.
Thank you for joining us, mythical creature.
Yeah, the mythical creature has joined us. She's just gonna swirl around me.
Also, that's the one that every time I'm there, you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's her.
There's a third one here, but I don't know.
Around. Sometimes, I mean, if you catch her, usually she's moving at the speed of light, and that's
because then the James that doesn't like to be touched or bothered for some reason loves the fact that I'm allergic to him, and
he's like, hey, you look like a guy that needs a cat on your lap. Guess what? Lucky for you, I'm a cat. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he looks at you and he's like, hey, do you see the rest of these humans? They're jealous. And I'm just like,
I can tell, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
That's exactly what happens.
I'm good as long as I don't touch my face, but inevitably, without fail, I touch my face.
Yeah.
Like, can't help it. I can pet him, and he can, as long as I don't touch my face. But I somehow always manage to touch my face.
Well,
it's a me problem.
He's got that tail too. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
This one don't got a tail. It's just little.
That's my homie, though. Oh, that's a goddamn chupacabra.
It is a chupacabra. You're right. It's not a cat. Somebody sold me a little demon thing. Look, they just said it was a cat. It's not though. Little demon thing.
Kevin Owens is going to be out a year and a half.
Yeah. That's tough because, like,
it's god awful.
Because, like, you gotta believe that when he told the people in the back that, they went, motherfucker, who is Roman Reigns going to fight for 6 pay-per-views next year?
Yeah, right.
Like, and it was like, you were talking about a guy that's always in like a main event level story. I mean, it's time for some people to step up now is really the case, is really what we got going on. Because we got some people that need to be Kevin Owens. And I don't think one person can fill his shoes. So, I think it's going to be multiple. Hopefully, I think Randy's going to do some good stuff. I think they'll have Randy sort of kick off the "Hey, Kevin Owens isn't here" tour. But we wish Kevin Owens luck, and I hear the surgery went well, and they're expecting a 1.5-year return.
Well, I don't necessarily know that we can just kind of gloss over Kevin Owens being gone for a 1.5 years because a certain somebody had something to say.
Oh, geez.
Okay. About this Kevin Owens situation. And this certain someone been very loud on the internet this week.
Jeez. All right. I don't know that I saw this, but
yeah, I don't think that you have.
Because I probably would have cursed about it and been like, motherfucker, go ahead.
So this particular human being has said,
is it somebody I don't like? Look, that doesn't narrow it down at all. Okay.
This human being says, I don't know anything about anything. I'm not in the middle of anything. I don't know anything about storylines or how his health is. I don't know his injury status. I don't want to comment on that. But here's what I'm going to say.
Oh, Jesus.
If Kevin is really hurt which I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I don't have any idea, and I haven't followed it. I'm barely involved. I hope if he's really hurt and he really has surgery, I hope he is not released 2.5 months after the major surgery. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
hope that doesn't happen to him.
Okay.
I hope that it's a work with Randy Orton attacks him and they have a match at WrestleMania, and that would be awesome. If Kevin is really hurt, I just hope that in 2.5 months after his recovery, everything is going well.
All right, Carl Anderson.
There he is.
Fucker. Look. All right. Here's my opinion on the Good Brothers. On that Good Brother particularly. You want to talk about a guy who has been able to ride the coattails of his friends for 20 fucking years. Let's talk about Carl Anderson. You want to talk about a guy who has done nothing just because, but is apparently nice enough that he's friends with Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and, some people in AEW. And so,
Okay. Did you just say he's done nothing?
What has he done? Tell me what he's done.
Hey, Bub.
He's been a Raw Tag Team Champion.
Okay. Yes.
So was the B Team.
Okay.
B Team. But go.
He's had a very successful career outside of WWE.
He's been so good at riding all of his friends' coattails to have a very successful career.
Okay. Listen, let's not act like the guy can't work. All right. Let's just calm.
Let's not act like the guy. Let's not act like this guy has ever drawn a dollar. He is the modern day Disco Inferno.
Okay. Now you're just being disrespectful. Okay.
To who though? Disco Inferno or Carl Anderson?
I mean, you're being very disrespectful to Carl Anderson. Okay. Glenn Gilberti does not deserve any respect.
No, he sure doesn't.
Him
and Val Venus should go together. I don't even know Val Venus' real name, but he's a fuckhead too.
Sean Morley.
That's it, Morley.
Yeah.
He sounds like a crooked old miser.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. Walt, just stop. Agree with Tom. The problem with that, though, Pat, is that I don't agree. I think that trying to say that Carl Anderson has achieved nothing in his career is a farce.
I didn't say he achieved nothing. I said he rode all of the coattails.
You said he was a nobody.
He is a nobody. He's never drawn a dollar.
I mean, he has, though, just not for WWE. And I feel like we want to fall back into that Vince McMahon bubble here a little bit, Bob. Okay, there are other wrestling promotions in the world. Just because the one on television sucks doesn't mean.
Did he draw a lot of dollars for New Japan? He didn't draw any dollars for AEW either.
He drew a lot of dollars for TNA.
I mean, isn't that where he is again now?
No, he's still in WWE.
Oh, right. He hasn't been. He's still being. He's sitting at home getting paid. Right.
Right, and he's complaining a little bit.
Right, because he's only sat at home and gotten paid for. First of all, let's not pretend like if you're Carl Anderson that like you can compare yourself to Kevin Owens, right?
I don't think he's doing that at all.
That's absolutely what he's doing because he's saying, "I just hope that you're not released 2 months after your successful surgery," because he's alleging that that's what happened to him. Is that we were just getting going and then I got hurt and I had to have surgery and then I got released. They were never just getting going. They've never gotten going.
But I mean,
Luke Gallows' pants fell down on Tough Enough. His little wee fell out.
Oh yeah, that's right. That did happen.
And then he was fastest.
I just
it's the most success that he had in WWE.
Those guys were in the Undertaker's last match.
They were. Undertaker killed them. Remember? Yeah. We thought they were dead. We were sure of it. We said it on this program. Like, did Undertaker kill the Good Brothers? I mean, we thought he killed AJ Styles, but AJ showed up like a couple weeks later. But the Good Brothers did not. We were like, he killed the Good Brothers.
Well, because they got released and went to TNA or Impact Wrestling at the time and ended up on AEW television. But I don't know, man. Like, I think that this is a pretty big fucking shot across the bow to WWE.
Absolutely, it is.
And it's not the only one that he's had this week.
Who, Carl?
Yeah. There was a couple other ones, but I wrote that one down because I knew we were going to talk about Kevin Owens. But there were a couple. He did say a couple of other hot takes on this very same podcast this week. Let's see if I can find
salty this week is what we're saying.
Yeah, a little bit. Seems like it.
Salty Carl. All right. A salty Carl sounds like a terrible evening to me. Look, what I do in the privacy of my own home. I'm stealing your joke, Walt.
It doesn't count.
Maybe I'll have a salty Carl later.
Oh, listen. It's low-hanging fruit. I have to find a better one. Okay, like, you know, because I only pull that once a show, and it's got to be the right one.
I felt like that was it. I felt like that was the magic.
Salty Carl. Wow, incredibly creative. Okay.
It sounds filthy.
It's just.
It sounds filthy.
We'll find something somewhere. I'm
sure. All right.
Plenty of other dirty things to discuss.
Dirtiness.
So, first of all, I don't think that Kevin Owens it has any qualm or concern or worry that may happen.
No. 0% chance. In fact, like I was saying earlier, when he told Triple H and everybody else, they went, "Fuck!"
Yeah, like that's what we did.
Yeah, everybody went, "Fuck!"
There's nothing. There's no credibility on the roster.
No. Yeah.
You know, you said it yourself. Who's going to lose to Roman Reigns for the next 6 fucking pay-per-views?
Yeah,
that's real because he's credible. You could drop him into anything at any given time. He could be on like an 8-match losing streak, and you can plug him into a main event against Cody Rhodes for the World Championship, and it's like, yeah,
it's like Kevin might win.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and you're gonna be like, Kevin could win.
Yeah,
that just happened. It literally just happened. We were like, Kevin might win, and then Cody Rhodes dropped him on his head on that ladder,
and then he turned heel, and the rest has been stellar.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to miss him. That's for sure. I'm certainly going to miss him at Mania. I was so looking forward to Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens has been on a run since 2021.
Which was the WrestleMania with him and Stone Cold?
Yes.
That was that one?
No.
So good. It was
22. But
so good.
I mean, you could even take it back to 2020 if you want, because he had that match with Seth Rollins at Silent Mania.
Right? Yeah.
Which was
the Thunderdome.
Yeah, which was still awesome. 21. 22.
21 was with Roman. He
yeah,
fought
21
Roman.
was yeah.
Yeah, 22. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I mean, he's on like a fucking 5-year career run right now.
It was like he signed a new deal and would just like, we heard about that, and it was like Kevin Owens doing top guy shit, and it never stopped.
No.
In fact, it only stopped because he's hurt right now.
You know, which leads me to another question. He had to have had a title reign in all of this, right? No, not a single one. I think that's a goddamn shame.
I think it's a shame, but at the same time, like looking back on it, like
it's a fucking bloodline.
You didn't need it. I mean, it was
greatest of all time, Roman Reigns. Like,
yeah, the literal GOAT.
It's like The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
You know, you sprinkle Triple H in there, and then you get Randy Orton and John Cena, and like that's that type of feud.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's over. It's done. I mean, well, it's not over. It's done, but it's a year and a half.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. That's
But
about how long. That's about how long Charlotte and Alexa Bliss were out. Alexa was actually out longer.
Charlotte could have stayed out way longer. It would have been way cooler.
Yeah, it probably would have been fine.
This fucking shit show.
We'll get to her, I assume.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's not spoil the.
Yeah, let's not. You know, I mean,
yet.
I don't want to. I don't want to vomit all over the mat. You know.
I know what you're talking about, but that happened on Wednesday.
That's wild, bro. Like.
Okay. So
okay.
Did you saw? I shared it. You saw the spot, right?
Yeah, I saw the spot.
Like Hook clearly just gets dropped on his head, throws up not once but twice, like fucking brown and green. It's gross. The man is clearly severely concussed, and fucking Wheeler Yuta with his he must have heard me picking on him for cutting his own hair. He just doesn't get haircuts anymore, and picks the man up face down in his own vomit, picks the man up and suplexes him. A man who has clearly just been dropped on his head.
Sludge in the toilet.
Damien.
Proceed.
Anyway, so like, I don't know what's happened because this was the same match that Pat got hurt in. I don't know what the fuck's happening over in AEW right now because, quite frankly, they didn't put the title on. And I know we need to get to that. Like Sunday when we were talking, a couple hours later, when the 7 to 8 hour pay-per-view ended.
Hey, you better watch your tone. WWE's got 18 hours of fucking television of programming blocked off.
Yeah, I know. 18 hours between two nights because there's going to be
tone.
The pre-show and the after show and all
just
that.
saying, better watch your tone. That's all, you know.
I understand, but this is WrestleMania. And if you tie in both Friday night and Monday, we're talking about a lot of fucking wrestling. 24 hours of wrestling over 4 nights. But it's like they do this every month. Like WWE's monthly pay-per-views are literally like, sorry, everybody threw me off. Like I got fucking cacophony going on in every corner here. Sorry. Anyway, the last couple pay-per-views were literally like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3 hours. Go home.
It's a sweet spot.
Show. Yeah, perfect. I love it. It's so good. It's because it's a
sweet spot when you want to be entertained.
It's all killer, no filler for 3 hours. It's like, here's 3 hours, all killer, no filler. You're going to get your shit in. Everybody's going to have a good time, and we're going to go home. If you want to stick around and watch the post-shit briefing, that's going to go from 10 to 11. Great. Good shit. Once a year, we have this thing where this whole weekend, you just need to dedicate it to us. Once a year. One time. Well, it'll probably be a couple times because they're doing. But anyway.
4 now.
Well, but still, even that's not once a fucking.
Well, you know, I mean, it's the start of something here. So I'm just saying, like, we've got to remain objective. All right, there can be no tribalism on the One Fall WrestleCast, good sir. All right, I refuse to allow you to become an e-drone.
I think that went out the window. Well, I'm not, because look, I'm going to come in, I'm sure, next week and be like, Jesus fucking Christ, that went a really long time. Like, I'm going to say that to you. Like, I'm going to say that.
I'm just taking the high road here, Bob. You know,
you're right.
I'm trying to be the most politically non-divisive, correctly internet wrestling community member that I possibly can.
Wow, you are dipping into all the places to dip.
Okay, I'm just trying.
All the paint colors right now.
I'm just trying to have civil conversations about a product that I enjoy.
So let's work on let's talk about this Wednesday night nonsense where we got referees clearly seeing talent who is, legacy
Concussed?
talent, concussed, dropped on their head,
Broken?
vomiting in the middle of the ring. Nobody throws up an X.
That would require somebody that would require an adult to be present in that situation.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but I can't remember any time ever that a AEW ref has thrown up an X. I don't know that they understand what that means.
Well, I mean, goddamn, Earl Hebner was there for the first couple of months. I'm sure old little bit of Earl helped him out.
Anyway, for those of you at home, when a referee throws up an X with his arms, as I'm doing on the screen, for those of you listening, in a
he's got 2 words for you.
Suck it, but it's
Help
over
me.
their head. What that signifies is something has gone fucked with this match, and we need to stop it.
He said a curse word.
Because somebody has been dropped on their head, they're hurt, somebody's thrown up. Like, when a man gets dropped on his head,
Blah!
proceeds to puke his guts out
Blah!
in the middle of the ring, that is a pretty good time to throw up an X.
How you know he wasn't like, hey, yo, Wheeler, let me show you something. Blah! Now give me a suplex, boy.
I mean, is he Draws?
Well, no, because if he was Draws, he'd be dead.
That's true. But if we'd like for him to continue to not be Draws, I think that their referees need to understand what this does to a match, because
I mean, Tony Khan, listen, at this point, okay, we can't put all the blame on the referee, okay?
Who was the referee in this match? Do we have any idea?
I don't know.
Probably Bryce Dreamsburg. Fuck him.
I did just have the clip up. I will look for it while I continue to talk. But this was seen on national television.
Yeah.
It's more than just the referee. Like, I think that there's a certain level of accountability that has to be had by all.
Absolutely. They were touting Wheeler Yuta as the best.
Oh my, I don't know who this is, bud. It's
They were touting fucking Wheeler Yuta as the next coming of Stone Cold Steve Austin and or The Rock, depending on who they want to put the names on. And you're telling me this guy can't figure out when he picks a guy up out of his own puke to suplex him? He doesn't have the in-ring awareness?
Well, maybe he was just trying to get the trash out of the ring, so that they could keep on having that 5-star banger
that eventually got. Maybe that's what happened to Pac. Maybe he slipped in Hook's vomit and twisted his ankle on that buckle bomb. Maybe that's what happened. Because like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I couldn't believe this shit continued to go on. I was stunned. I'm like, he just threw up, and then they put it in. They played the replay. Like, what the fuck is happening? Why don't we just start executing wrestlers in the middle of the ring? Maybe that'd be good. Okay, hey, why don't I just take this fucking guillotine and we're gonna put somebody.
Did you just say yeetatine?
Yeet. Anyway, and we will just yeet their head right off their neck. How about that? Like, I don't know what's going on anymore, but it's clearly like not run by. There's no adults.
Dude, you think Tony Khan's running around backstage with a gold helmet and a gold shield with a red cape, going, "This is Sparta"?
I mean, I'm sure he's not in fear for his life anymore now that CM Punk's not there.
My name is Tonius Maximus Economus.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
No, I'm not entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Because, quite frankly, I've seen a man die in a pro wrestling ring already, and I would like to not.
Yeah, but he came back to life.
Owen Hart didn't.
Oh, we didn't see that. That's not fair.
I mean, kind of saw it.
I mean, I was watching the pay-per-view.
We all were watching the pay-per-view, and we all went,
Yeah. But we didn't see anything.
No.
I mean, we watched Ric Flair die in the match, but I mean, he came back to life.
He did,
right?
yeah. But like
Ric Flair's last match was also almost Ric Flair's last breath.
Sure was. Rick had two? He had 2 heart attacks and died. Somehow just like walked it off. Jesus Christ.
We'll call it in the ring, kid.
Next time, what did he say?
Having a heart attack.
Next time I'll drink more water. Is that what he said? That's what he said. Like next time I'll drink more water and less beer. What the fuck? Like I mean, you know, maybe they should just let Ric Flair wrestle week in, week out on AEW, because like somebody that wants to die in the ring could actually die in the ring, as opposed to like, you know, them dropping.
He had to cancel his WrestleMania appearance this weekend. That wasn't like an actual WrestleMania appearance, but like he was going to be in Vegas. And Tony Khan was like, yeah, man, if you are even seen in Las Vegas, this is fucking breach of contract, bro.
Like that would be, yeah, I don't think let's not put Ric Flair in Vegas on WrestleMania weekend. That just sounds like a recipe for disaster. I'm sure he's gonna be there. We're gonna see footage, but that's not gonna be
crazy.
That's crazy. Woo! How we get to talking about Ric Flair?
Hey, I don't fucking know.
Dude, he died. He actually died in the ring.
Yeah, he actually died in the ring.
Hook just threw up.
Yeah, and then he got supleed.
He sure did after being dropped on his head and not knowing where he's at.
So I reviewed the tape, and I do not know who this good sir is that was the referee. It was a young black man that I had never seen in the Zebra in AEW.
I don't know who that could be either.
So at least it wasn't one of the Chuchi referees. So maybe the AEW is actually trying to get some new un-Chuchi referees, and unfortunately, this was a big time spot for this guy. Maybe I don't.
Fucking missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't be the first person in AEW to throw up the X.
No, I probably think, yeah. I don't know, man. I that's tough because lots of safety issues there.
I mean, yeah, like it doesn't. At no point does it get better. Like we're talking about you have to stop what's going on, go to commercial break, at least clean up the ring. Try to look out of it. That's what you got to do. What you don't do is pull the man's head out of his own vomit and give him a suplex. That's what you don't do. And that's unfortunately what happened. And then I believe we continued in picture while some shit happened outside, and they did get it cleaned up and they got some, but it was like, man, it's not only that, but it's a bad look, right? Because later in the match is when Pac gets hurt too. And so like for two of your top names, mid-card top names, but like guys who people recognize, to get hurt in the same match is really kind of not great, because it's not like these are old guys. This is not Triple H and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at Blood Money 6 or whatever that one was, where Triple H tears his pec, and this is not that. This is not that, right? This is not a bunch of old guys in the ring for blood money. This is a bunch of young guys fighting each other to the death for peanuts. And man,
for peanuts. Peanuts.
You're right. They've all got $1 million contracts.
What?
You're right. You're right. They're all making good money right now.
Well,
But
I mean, maybe that's why they feel like they have to do the things that they have to do.
yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. I got a drop on my head. I'm gonna throw up, but I gotta keep going. Blah, I gotta keep going. Give me the suplex. Blah. Boom.
I mean, they just continue when they do things like this. It just continues to make them appear indie-rific, and I respect it, but it's not good for your longevity, especially considering somebody like Hook, who's 20 years old and actually has a lot of promise.
23. Yeah, I mean, a guy who's got a pedigree and a legacy. You know, I mean, he is Taz's son, but he is.
I bet you that motherfucker can talk too.
I bet he could. I mean, his dad can.
I mean, he's a New Yorker. There's no way he can't talk.
Yeah, there's no way he's grown up just talking shit his whole life.
I think that there's untapped potential with Hookski.
I really think, and I think Hook is one of those guys that, like, if they got him in NXT, we would be like, holy shit. Like, there would be this level of unlocked potential that just, I mean, certainly his father has taught him well. His shit is clean. Right?
You almost said soup play.
Yeah, he almost did. His shit is clean, right? Like, the guy knows what he's like. For as young as he is, and he's very good. And like, you've seen him in the ring with like Samoa Joe and guys who really know what they're doing. And like, he's put on some like stuff that he should not be able to do at this stage of the game in his career. Like, the guy is a prodigy, but you know, right now he's being dropped on his head and suplexed by Wheeler Yuta after puking his guts out after getting a concussion. So like, maybe this is a guy who we need to pull out of a situation like this. Because it's like we're putting the best. It's like we're putting the best pitcher in the game on the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are going to lose 110 games this year.
Yeah, no argument for me.
That's what this is like, and it's like, you know, all the wins are just going to happen to this guy, but like, we're going to lose 110 games otherwise. So like, man, like, and he's got to, like, if I'm Taz, I'm worried about him too, because like,
I mean, the Pirates are so bad, bro. This is like the 76th World Series is like the commemorative patch. That's how bad the Pirates are.
Pirates have been bad since like before we were born.
No,
you're right.
That team in the 90s was okay. Just,
I mean, the very, very beginning of the 90s, like,
yeah.
Like by the mid 90s, we sucked balls.
Well, yeah, but then we had a little resurgence in the early 2000s. You know, we had
2015. We had
the Cueto, you know, that whole thing. 2015, that's probably accurate. Yeah, and then we traded Andrew McCutcheon, and now he's back. But that changed my feelings.
So AEW is becoming the Pittsburgh Pirates of wrestling.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about Sunday? What happened on Sunday, Walter?
Well, you know, I sat here and I talked to you about Swerve Strickland and Booker T having some beef. And I said, you know, man, hopefully cooler heads prevail and these guys will be able to get on the same page. And that would be really great for professional wrestling.
Yeah, it sure would have been.
And then I cracked open my bottle of whiskey and I sat on the couch over here and proceeded to doom scroll, and about 1:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, I come across this little blurb. Swerve Strickland tells Booker T to fuck himself.
Yep, sure does.
After Dynasty goes off the air.
And where does he do this? Where is he standing?
In the middle of an AEW ring.
Oh. In front of a crowd, a live pay-per-view crowd?
Yes, that had already gone dark on the airwaves. This was just in the building.
So what you're telling me is a top guy, a guy who was a former champion, only 2 champions ago. We can barely count Bryan Danielson because, quite frankly, what was he champion for 35 minutes?
38 days.
Okay, well, yeah, that's about 35 minutes in pro wrestling time. And so we have the only active former world, the most recent active former world champion who had just challenged and lost for the world title like 5 minutes before he decides to do this, standing in an AEW ring. The man cuts down the most decorated, barrier-breaking wrestler, African-American wrestler in modern in history period, right? I don't know that there's and who are we like
Damn. You gotta put some
Booker has so much more.
Yeah, but Ron Simmons is the first ever
He is first that you're right.
black world champion.
I probably would be just as pissed. I would be just as pissed if he cut down Ron Simmons. Although I'm pretty sure you don't want to cut down.
No. How does he say it? Anytime that I've heard him say it a few times, he's unfuckwithable.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't. What's he got to be? He's got to be almost 70, right?
Close, at least he's got to be at least 65, if not 68, 69, something like that.
I think even at 65, that is a scary. He is 66 years old with a 67th birthday looming in just 1 month's time. No. That's like that's Unk for sure, right? Like that. No.
Yeah, you don't fuck with Ron Simmons. But so I mean, Booker T talks a lot, and he's got a very successful podcast. He's on WWE television all the time. I mean, he's on every Tuesday. He's gonna be all over he's gonna have 4 hours.
Has a pretty successful independent promotion.
Yeah, pretty successful trainer, if we're being honest. Like, the man has trained most of the top stars.
Roxanne Perez.
Huh?
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Her. But not just her. Like, a lot of the like top. Oh shit! This one's got it. That's him. So like, we're talking about a guy who's not only got his own personal legacy, but a guy who has sort of secured the future for professional wrestling. And you're telling me that Swerve, who is at the moment being sort of undermined, I would say, like, I wanted Swerve to win on Sunday. That's not what happened. Me and everybody fucking else is like, this is the worst decision AEW's ever made by not putting the title on Swerve on Sunday, because this mock shit is fucking not over. People think it sucks, and it does fucking suck, okay? It fucking sucks. I can't say this anymore. This shit fucking sucks.
I saw a TikTok today that said that Jon Moxley's Death Rider's character is CM Punk in real life.
Great, but like, it fucking sucks. Like, this is 2019 WWE. This fucking sucks is what this is. This fucking sucks. This is the McMahons laughing at Baron Corbin at the top of the ramp. This fucking sucks. And for Swerve,
tell us how you really feel, bud.
I'm about to. And for Swerve to just lay down and eat a pin for something that fucking sucks, and then come out and bash Booker T, who has not only created a legacy that does not fucking suck, but has also secured the future that will not fucking suck, to come out of something that fucking sucks and bash somebody who does not suck.
Gravity.
No, Swerve fucking sucks for this, and AEW fucking sucks for letting him do it. He did this in the middle of an AEW ring. In the middle. This wasn't on some chooch dickhead podcast that also fucking sucks. This is was in the middle of an AEW ring after a pay-per-view that lasted 9 fucking hours in front of a live crowd. Like, 1, fuck you. 2, fuck AEW. 3, fuck Tony Khan for giving him a live mic and letting him do this. You're telling me that, could you imagine any top guy in WWE doing this? Any one of them? Please answer that.
I mean, yeah, I could imagine somebody doing
but
it.
Who? And if they did it, what would happen to them? Would they be killed on the spot? Because I'm pretty sure they would be killed on the spot.
I mean, maybe back in the Vince McMahon days.
But they would be fired, at least now.
Well, I don't know.
Cody Rhodes would never do this.
I mean, you've got the board member, fucking The Rock, out here dropping fucking F-bombs on network television on the CW, but that's okay.
Could you imagine The Rock attacking Booker T on television?
Yeah, he did it in fucking 2008.
Could you imagine The Rock attacking Booker T's personal
He was waiting in the parking lot after Stone Cold fucking ran him through the grocery store.
Oh, Jesus.
Because he did it for The Rock, brother.
That was amazing. First of all, Stone Cold and Booker T in the grocery store.
That's one of the greatest clips of all time.
It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened in pro wrestling.
Greatest clips of all time.
It's one of the best.
Clean up on aisle 3.
It's one of the best things. That ranks up there with the Stone Cold Vince McMahon bedpan thing. That was one of those just like.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
It's one of those capture
I'll take
moments.
it from here, nurse.
Exactly. That's like.
God. Hey, we got Mr. Sacco out of that segment.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Mr. Sacco went on to have a Hall of Fame worthy career.
Yeah, maybe Mr. Sacco might.
Mr. Sacco had his own merch.
I'm pretty sure you can still buy Mr. Sacco.
No, I don't think so. I don't know that Mick's on a Legends deal right now.
He's off and on. You can buy.
He's kind of salty Carl, if you know what I mean.
He just walked out of a car wreck and climbed the cage back to fight the Undertaker. So.
Yeah, and then went to an appearance in Vegas a couple of days later with his daughter.
Legend.
Because one of my buddies was sitting on a couch with him in Vegas.
Guy is a fucking legend. But anyway, Swerve, I like Swerve. I really do. I wanted him to win. Everything he did after that match that fucking sucked on Sunday fucking sucked. And I hate it. I hate that AEW let it happen. And AEW is just coming up all L's for me right now. Like, this shit sucks. And they're not winning me over with any of this. This shit fucking sucks. And this is sort of the crescendo of that. But they didn't win any points with me on Wednesday because we already talked about the shit stain drop a legacy on his head, puke his guts out match. But like also
I don't believe there was a shit stain.
Huh?
I don't believe there was a shit stain.
Oh, luckily for everybody involved, there was no shit involved this time. That's good. But they also started off the night with Shibata versus John Moxley, which immediately made me shut it off because I'm not going to watch two guys no sell an opening match. Like, get fucked. Everybody there can get fucked because it fucking sucks. AEW fucking sucks right now.
Well, you know, our friend Carl Anderson seems to think that WWE fucking sucks right now.
Well, Carl Anderson can
says
himself.
He says, The Rock was always on my Mount Rushmore. I would have put 4 Rockies on Mount Rushmore. But maybe, just maybe, he might be chiseled off that Mount Rushmore now. There's just a little bit of disappointment from him. He's the greatest star in Hollywood, but now that he's clearly on the board and he's running the WWE, right? Oh, when I saw people running up to The Rock backstage at Gorilla and ask for pictures in Gorilla, I was like, man, I got to get out of here. This shit ain't for me, bruh.
Oh, now he's got to get out of there? He was just salty about getting fired, but now he's got to get out of here? This happened all in the same podcast.
Yeah, but you see how
Yeah, I do. I like it.
I brought it full circle, you know?
I love what you did.
That's a skill.
I think Carl Anderson doesn't have that skill. You're much better than Carl Anderson.
I feel like that's a backhanded compliment.
If I had the choice between you and Carl Anderson, I would choose you every day and twice on Sunday.
But that's because you have access to me. You don't have access to Carl Anderson.
I don't love Carl Anderson. I don't even like him.
But how do you know? Have you ever met him? Have you ever talked to him? But I don't think that's fair either. What if he's a really nice guy?
I mean, maybe he is. I don't know.
I mean, I'm an okay guy, but like I say controversial things. I have an opinion.
Yeah, but like,
I'm just a neutral party member of the IWC here. Okay, that's just trying to push his opinion into the atmosphere for everybody to enjoy. All right. Please, I'm not crying, I promise. Lots happening in WWE's women's division. Fucking obviously Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, and we'll get to those two in just a minute. Their shit's off the fucking rails, but it looks like they're trying to capitalize on it. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark said that they're tired of being overlooked and disrespected in WWE. They took to social media. Zoe Stark said, "The things that women do for attention." And Shayna Baszler says, "They sleep on us. Don't wake them up. We're about to sneak out. Hashtag WWE. Hashtag WWE Raw. Hashtag reality check at Zoe Stark WWE." There's a growing sentiment amongst some females in the IWC, as well as performers in the pro wrestling space, that continues to make noise that if you don't look a certain way or you don't dress a certain way, you don't get any TV time. And I think that this continues to add to that sentiment.
So I don't know that it's fair to say they don't get any TV time, because I feel like Pure Fusion Collective gets TV time. What they don't get is
not
TV.
anymore. Not since they fired fucking. Not since they fired Sonya Deville. We haven't seen.
Yeah, no. I mean, they were on this week, but yeah, it was a sort of short-lived. I don't know, because you're right, and it's like it's hard to think.
Is it a work?
It feels like it's probably a work. Like they probably went into this because they fired Sonya, and it's like, well, we don't really have anything for them for WrestleMania. So, and it's like, this is a hard time to kind of like look at anything like this and take it not with like something that's just going to become like, hey, we're going to try this after WrestleMania, but we want it to be stuck in the back of your head.
Triple H is getting really good at using the internet to
exactly, and I think that's
the drive story,
and that's why it's so hard to be like, oh, are they actually legitimately upset, or is this just like something to plant a seed for like 2 weeks from now, right? So it's like, we're going to go through WrestleMania this weekend, and it's going to be great, but that card is set. Like, that's already happening. We know what's happening. We just saw them on Friday, and yes, they got beat. And I know there's some stuff happening tonight. Something happened tonight. I haven't watched yet. Between Bailey because it's Bailey and Lyra versus, which is weird because like your first WrestleMania with these sort of like mid-card women's titles, and like there's nothing for any of that right now.
Yeah, that was called into criticism a couple of weeks ago. But there were some other things that needed addressed, and I don't know that we gave that our full attention.
But in similar regards, it's like, okay, I get it, and those will probably like there's still a Friday and a Monday.
Yeah, but it still seems like a good opportunity to make at least one of those belts mean something to the mainstream audience as far as like being defended at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and they've not, and that's not lost on me, and I'm not trying to say that it is. Like, I realize there's a Friday and a Monday show.
I mean, you snubbed Chelsea Green from WrestleMania. I want to clarify that.
I know, but also like I kind of really like what's happening on the down low on the Chelsea Green stuff right now.
Well, you know that shit wasn't actually supposed to happen.
yeah, it's just like I feel like they've already kind of made like chicken salad out of chicken shit. So like I'm sort of in the like I'm willing to give it a pass if it goes somewhere, right? And there's still potential for it to go somewhere. I really like the secret Hervis. All of this just really like
It's great.
it's really good. And it was really good on like,
Even though Kevin Owens said that Chelsea just stole that whole gimmick right from him when he was the face of America, when he was United States champion.
I mean, she sure did, but goddamn if she ain't doing a good job with it. So you know what? People steal gimmicks all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And I think everything that's happened. So I'm like, while I don't think it's WrestleMania main card like material, especially
Still should have been there.
probably, but I understand why it's not, and I hope it goes somewhere and doesn't just peter out, right? But as far as the like, as the Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler stuff, I'm a huge Shayna mark.
Yeah, we all know. I couldn't wait to bring this in here.
I think that Shayna should have been a two-time world champion, right? And she should be Shayna 2 times on the main roster right now.
Remember whenever she used Liv Morgan as a piñata bat?
It was one of my. That's probably my favorite.
Like they let her mow through the women's elimination chamber and did nothing with that.
That's probably my favorite women's elimination chamber moment. That's my favorite women's elimination chamber.
Like they let her out of that cage and she just mauled 5 other women and they did nothing with that.
They let her tear them to literal shreds. Everybody was just like, "Oh my god, Shayna killed everybody." She was getting Shayna's gonna kill you
on the main roster.
Those are the Shayna's gonna kill you chants were like, I wanted that t-shirt. If I had that t-shirt, I'd have bought it 4 times over in every color that they made it in. It never existed. Shayna's gonna kill you. I hope that still comes to fruition. Man, what like I don't know that anything's ever been for me. I don't know that anything's ever been dropped that hard.
Man, maybe Charlotte Flair will win on Saturday, and then Shayna will just come out on Monday and just fucking rip her to shreds, like right in front of us,
like literally, like tear her arms off and beat her with them.
Yeah, just for our entertainment.
I mean, that's not going to happen, but maybe. But it's not going to happen.
I mean, I'd be here for it.
I mean, so would I, and I'd buy the t-shirt, but that's not going to happen.
Just a thought. I mean, God. Last time I'll share.
I wish. I mean, God. I wish.
Fine.
No, it would be great.
A WWE source says Charlotte Flair has fucked the whole program with Tiffany Stratton and has been trying to rattle her. One person in the company said Charlotte has been trying to rattle Tiffany. Standard stuff. Cena does it. Randy does it. Young talent coming up. You put a little heat on them as a test to get them to either sink or swim. Well, Charlotte has fucked this whole program by not adjusting to being a heel because she was originally planned to be the babyface in the feud. That doesn't make sense. Last night, she got stuck. That Chicago crowd ate her up because they can see she's doing more than business. She's trying to embarrass Tiffany.
I have
Wrestling Observer newsletter.
I have a hot take on this. So there was a interview that Becky Lynch. Yes, Becky Lynch. I'm bringing up Becky Lynch in 2025, everybody. Becky Lynch gave a few years ago. And this was during their whole rise. And she said, and this was before she's, what do you think about somebody asked her on it was a WWE show or something, or maybe it was Chris Van Vliet. What do you think about Charlotte Flair? And she said, well, I'm going to give you my side. And Charlotte has her own side to the story. But we don't like each other. And I think that when I got hot, I'm paraphrasing, and when everything was coming up Becky, that she felt intimidated by it. She was jealous by it. And I think that not only did it affect our friendship, but it affected her work. And it affected her work in the ring. And it affects her to this day. And I thought about it for a second because I saw that clip today, and I'd seen it before, but this was years ago, right? And so it's not a recent clip. And I thought about it, and I was like, you and I had spoken, and I was like, did Charlotte always suck, or is this new? And you were like, I think it's kind of new. I think that might have actually been the turning point. There was a point pre Becky, pre big time Bex, pre the man. Charlotte was kind of unflappable to an extent, and whether she was the baby face or the heel, she was sort of unflappable. And once we kind of got the big time Bex, and Becky was the number one. She was horsewoman number one. It was Becky, Charlotte, Bailey, Sasha. Although I would argue that it was Becky, Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha, but that's not that's not what we're talking about. So
no. Depends on the time frame that I would
does.
agree.
And now, honestly, right now, I would put Bailey at the top. I would put Becky at second, only because of her.
No. That's just
only because of her extended
hiatus.
hiatuses.
No. Right, I'm not going to let you do that.
That's fine. Anyway, moving back to where we were. But no, Charlotte's been rattled since then. She got hurt. It was nice to see her come back, but then she got hurt immediately. And her, I've said on this podcast before that, her retribution story, her Instagram follow was nothing short of inspirational because of how hard she worked to get her knees back, get it back. Man, she just comes back and is not good at this, which is hard to see from somebody who used to be really good at this. And
do you think it's because of how you feel that her retribution story, the whole thing, and then she comes back at the Royal Rumble and she wins and everybody boos her?
I mean, I think her coming back at the Rumble and winning and getting booed was, I don't know who thought that was a babyface move, but it wasn't.
Somebody did.
Especially not if you're Charlotte Flair. Charlotte's never been a good heel. And I don't know that she's drawn money. No, I'm sorry. Charlotte's never been a good face.
There you go.
That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
No, it always feels forced.
It feels forced, and it's it doesn't. It's never felt right, and I think that Becky pointed that out the best. Is that it's you are 6 feet tall, you are a physical specimen, and you are the daughter of the greatest wrestler to ever live. And not to, we can argue all day whether or not Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler to ever live, but he's in the discussion. So if you just want to say it in a promo, nobody's going to be like, oh, yeah, well, that makes sense. Nobody's going to be like, he is fucking not. He's in the discussion. So, for her to come back and not, to get rattled by a Chicago crowd, to get rattled so bad that she had to basically just re-give her time to Tiffany, well, Tiffany, you just talk, you can have the last word. I mean, what a disaster. And they're trying to save it now, and I think they're going to do an okay job. Hopefully the cooler heads prevail and professionalism prevails, and I really hope, because I'm looking forward to this match. I don't think Charlotte wins.
I saw a meme today. It was picture of Ludwig Kaiser, right? Just fucking jocked to the gills, right? And it said, the only man in the history of man that was accused of cheating, and not a single individual believed it.
No, nobody believed that. No. No, nobody believed that. I didn't believe it. And honestly, I like Charlotte's comment on Twitter, which was like, I misspoke in the heat of the moment, after whatever, being kind of acute, after having a very sensitive topic called out or whatever she said. I said the Chicago crowd was smart and I was wrong. And I like that. That's a very good heel move.
Yeah.
And I hope that they pick that up and run with it, because that's all I've wanted Charlotte to do, is to accept the heat that she's being given.
Yeah.
And to take it and be like, oh, fuck you. You don't deserve me. I'm the queen. And that's when she's at her best. All you got to do is be like, I'm better.
That comment right there is exactly why I will not allow you to put Bayley as the number one horsewoman. Man, it's just like you just do the work for me. I just sit back and I wait. I'm like a big game fisherman here, okay? I'll just take my boat out into the water and I'm like, this looks like a good spot. Kick my chair back, drop a line in the water, and just fucking wait and reel the big fish in. You give it to me every time, pal. Man, I'm just too good at this point.
But you didn't let me explain why.
It doesn't listen. The internet's gonna snip whatever. I call it for what it is. She's number 3. Don't be disrespectful. Okay, listen, I love Bayley just as much as the next guy, but you cannot sit here and tell me with a straight face that she's has a better body of work in her career than Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch before her.
She's got a longer body of work. That's for sure.
She definitely has a longer body of work, and I think that we can all appreciate the assets of that body of work. Okay. However, to the art and to the craft, it's disrespectful to put her at number 1 above Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. I'm sorry.
Okay. See how this next year goes. But
I sure hope so, because I don't like where she's at right now.
And I don't either.
And I think she deserves better.
No, I think she should be. Although at the same time, I kind of feel like she's put herself in the position that she's in to kind of be like, no. I want to work with these talents. I want to work with these new kids. These are my people.
But she still needs to.
You're right. No, she still needs to be like she
still needs to be considered credible in order for those feuds to have the meaning that she wants them to mean in the eyes of the audience.
She still needs to be working as a top guy, and she's not doing top guy shit right now. You're right. Absolutely right. I think they said a stat. It was last week or the week before. She had lost the last 8 matches in a row, and that's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's sad where she's at right now, and I think Becky has realized that the climate's a little bit different. She even said recently, hey, I'm done for right now. I don't know if you saw the improv clip.
Yeah, it was like, I don't wrestle right now, but maybe in the future or something.
Yeah. So she clearly sees the climate. You know what I mean? Good on her. Let her breathe a little bit. She can come back as one of the GOATs. Have a great second run, a la Shawn Michaels, and everything would be copacetic for sure.
Absolutely. I think she's in right now. She's cast in a few movies. Like, I've seen some clips of some stuff that's coming. It's like she's in some movies. She's doing some things. Like, she's just doing stuff, and she's being a mom.
Yeah.
And Rue is 3 now, so it's like
something like that. I don't know. I saw a picture of him the other day, man. She's grown up.
Yeah, so it's like if you want to as hard as that is, because she's a couple years younger than we are, but she's 38. So as hard as that is to be in the prime of your life, because it's you don't have 20 more years to do this, right? At 38, you're you got to pick and choose your spots. coming up after that. So like the fact that you're not full time right now is sort of like, what do you 5 years from now you're a very spot like I'm here for Mania, I'm here for the Rumble, I'm here for it's kind of where that
she's
whittles
fucking
down
PR,
to.
bro.
Yeah, so it's
And she's free PR because she doesn't work there right now.
she's not under contract.
So I don't know. I hope you're right. I hope that WrestleMania and beyond is very fruitful for Bayley. Okay. She can be a mid card champion. I think she would love that. She would flourish in that role.
Mhm.
But she needs to be dangerous. So our friend Samoa Joe was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast.
Sure was.
And I have a little clippy clip here that
listened to all of that, by the way.
Yeah, I did too.
Love that.
So I have this little clippy clip.
Like, hey, I'm going to talk to Samoa Joe for an hour. Fuck yeah, you are, and I'm going to watch every second.
So there he is. I'm going to see if we can pick it up. All right. This is on the Chris Van Vliet podcast Insight.
And I'm partying like him, so I mean, it was like it was a really weird time. But I mean, I think those two time periods are kind of what I'm most proud of. What made AEW the right move when you signed there 3 years ago? I think the biggest thing was at the time I had left been fired from WWE. I had for the second time. Whatever. Won't be the last time.
Won't be the last time.
And sorry, one more time again. What made AEW the right? Cool. It's like
what made AEW the right?
Like him, so I mean, it was like
the right choice. Won't be the last time. I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Yeah. So like, I mean, God, I love Joe. I really do. Really love Joe. What made AEW the right choice for him at the time? Well, because he was fired and Vince was still there. And he still had a whole year in AEW where he actually was the champion before Vince was gone. So, after 3 years, I think what did he sign, a 3-year deal? It's not quite been 3 years yet, but he's signed.
No, but we're getting there. And it sounds to me like he's planning a return to WWE.
I would be not shocked at all when his contract expired. If he showed back up in WWE, I don't know that he would be an in-ring talent at this point. The man's 47 years old?
Listen, bud. The man still can go.
He sure can. He looks exactly the same as he did 10 years ago. Like the man, like he just stopped at some point. Like, you can look at Samoa Joe's age throughout his career, and it's like, oh, he was young here. But it's like 7-8 years ago, the man just stopped aging. Like he looks exactly the same as he did when he was the NXT champion.
Yeah.
And so does he come back, do a quick, couple year run, have a little feud with AJ before AJ leaves, do some, some farewell tour shit, some. I mean, what's fucking John Cena, 52? Like, Samoa Joe could certainly wrestle into his mid 50s. What's the? I don't know, man. I think yes, I agree. Won't be the last time.
I'm here for it.
I mean, they're not doing shit with him right now on AEW.
No.
I liked when they brought him in and were doing stuff, but they're not doing shit with him right now. So
it just sounded like a man that is not content with his decision making.
I mean, I feel like at the time he probably was. It made sense, I think, at the time. Times have changed, and AEW fucking sucks. And maybe it's time to leave.
Listen, the views of Tom are not endorsed by the One Fall WrestleCast LLC. Okay, we are just great members of the IWC over here, non-biased, non-tribal members, politically correct members
But we'll tell you when something fucking sucks.
of the IWC.
And I mean, if you're Joe, you see the writing on the wall.
No,
You
for
have
sure.
to be able to see it.
Yeah.
Like he's not. The one thing you can never call Samoa Joe is an idiot. He sees it. He knew it was the right call when he left 3 years ago. And it's probably going to be the right call when he lets his contract expire, present day-ish. Especially because they were willing to work with him. I think that was the biggest thing, and that's what that clip that you played didn't quite cover, is that like 3 years ago he was already slated, through being in WWE, to appear as in Twisted Metal on Peacock, which is really actually a fun show. It's not like, oh my god, must see television. It's kind of dumb, but like kind of dumb fun. And Samoa Joe's great as Sweet Tooth. It's great, although it's not his voice; it's Will Arnett's voice, which kind of makes it better. So good. But it's like kind of dumb. So yeah, I could see he was like, well, I want to go film this thing, and they're like, but we're going on a European tour, and he's just like, well, they're gonna pay me $5 million and like also let me do this, so just like I'll be back. Like if I don't get another like big like Peacock contract to do something else, we can talk in a few years. And that's that. And that's business. But I do think that Joe sees the writing on the wall with what's going on with the AEW right, because AEW right now is not the AEW of 3 years ago. And I don't know that it gets back to being any good ever, because I had high hopes, but like, man, they seem to want to dash my hopes with every show. They're like, fuck Tom in particular. And that's what it feels like. They started Dynamite with Shibata versus.
Okay, wait.
You were just blinking at me, so I was going to continue shit.
Wait. Did you just say that Tony Khan fucked you with a dash and you hoped that it felt good?
No, I said
that's listen.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen. What you do in the privacy of your home is none of my business.
You held on to that for a long time.
Well, I was starting to get anxious, and I had to piece something together, and you kind of gave me something to work with, and I had to go, because you were absolutely right. Salty Carl was the best one-liner of the day so far. And I missed. So I apologize, because I know that this little gimmick has become
world famous.
A couple of our listeners' favorite thing to look out for on the show. So I
famous.
I apologize.
World famous.
So Carl Anderson wasn't the only one talking this week. Obviously, we are just a spitballs throw away from WrestleMania weekend. And the media is a humping and a bumping. And
look what you do in the privacy.
Okay, that doesn't happen here. All right, we are married. Okay, those things don't happen anymore. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bless you, young man. So how dare you accuse me of such falsities? I'm appalled by your behavior.
Appalled. She's going to listen to this and be mad at you.
She doesn't listen to this shit.
At least she'll have listened.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, at least she'll have listened.
She used to watch the show early on. And she'd be there for like the first 10 minutes, and then I fell asleep. No, you got fucking bored. That's what happened.
You had no idea what we were saying.
Nah, none whatsoever.
We could have been speaking French.
So anyway, so the media tour, the tour bus is a moving. And one of the bus drivers happens to be Paul Levesque himself.
Mm.
He had a couple of strong things to say this week. This was via high performance. I don't know what that is. Some sort of podcast, or I don't know. But Triple H says that him and CM Punk have had disagreements since his return to WWE, but they've always remained professional.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H is quoted as saying, "We've had a couple of moments since his return to WWE. There was one time when he was coming back and they had told him something creatively, and then they told me he didn't like it very much. I told Punk the creative situation. He was like, it's good, whatever. I said, I know you don't like it. Everyone told me you don't like it, so let's just be open. He then started explaining what he didn't like about it, and I said, okay, let's sit down and talk about it. Let's come up with something good." And that's, again, Triple H via high performance. You surprised to hear this?
No.
Not me neither.
I think that the man that Paul Levesque was 10 years ago, and he said so himself, and I think he did so on this podcast. The man that Paul Levesque was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, he's not the same person. And I think that he's not in the same role anymore, obviously. There was a point in time in 10 years ago, he was probably still trying to hold on to being the final boss of WWE, to being, a guy in charge. That ship has sailed. The man is a father of what are they? They're teenage girls now, yeah? The man is a father of teenagers. He has a pacemaker in his heart. He wants to be alive for his girls. And, so he's here to make the best product that's going to be on TV. He's not going to be part of that TV product any longer. And he has come to terms with that in probably one of the scariest ways you can come to terms with that. Hey, nobody's going to throw me off the top turnbuckle ever again. And he's not only probably cool with that, but now he's drawing the reins. He's going to tell everybody else what to do. So when he's got somebody who is, at this point kind of a ghost, a weird, he's got a weird thing to do with CM Punk, because we all thought Punk was done 10 years ago, right? And it's real fucking weird. And Triple H can be a lot of things. He's not a fucking idiot. He understands that he has somehow captured lightning in a bottle, and he's got CM Punk in a way where it's all right, we can do business. The window is short. 3 years from now, we're not going to be talking about CM Punk in WWE as a full-time guy. But I think that Triple H sees the benefit and the money. Obviously, he sees the money because it's coming in, right? They've opened a chute that's been closed for 10 years, and oh hey, there was money there, and that's happening. So I think that the man Paul Levesque has seen, he saw it from a wrestler's perspective 10 or 15 years ago, and now he's seeing it from the perspective of the guy who is the head booker and the guy that wants to leave a legacy of, because he doesn't want to do this until he's 80 years old like Vince McMahon. He doesn't. Let's be fair about this. He's going to do this for the 10, 15 years max, and he's going to fuck off. He's going to leave this to somebody else. And that's going to be that. And so he sees the lightning in the bottle that he's got right now, and he wants to make the best of the situation that he has at hand. So, in addition to, being probably a softer guy, being softer than he was 10 or 15 years ago, he's got a mind for his legacy. And it's okay, look, I'm done wrestling. You're not. Let me use you in the way that makes you and me and all of us the most money and gets the most eyes on the product. And if that's not exactly what CM Punk was trying to say and do since his return, I don't know what is. He's not there to make friends. He's there to make money.
Oh, listen to you.
Look, man, I'm just saying what everybody else, what everybody that has said.
Bro, yeah.
What these human beings
Just
said on camera. And look, if they want to spit in each other's face, they would have done it already. But there's too much money flowing in, so they're all happy. Look, everybody's friends while money exists, right? Everybody's friends while they're getting paid, and everybody's getting paid right now, so everybody's friends.
You know, you're no better than they are. You know, just taking
I'm not
shots
better.
at the greatest tag team in the world.
Oh my god!
You know, like
I didn't even talk about them.
everybody's
Are we
just
talking about the Good
let's
Brothers?
just try. No, I'm talking about the Young Bucks.
I didn't even say anything about them this week.
You were just talking shit about CM Punk and like, you know, being professional, and you just want to leave out the fact that he assaulted the greatest tag team in the world.
He only choked Jungle Boy a little bit.
Just saying. Okay, Brawl Out was a thing, brother.
Sure was.
And it's under a gag order, and the only people that know about it and know what really happened aren't talking. But the Young Bucks hadn't been the same since.
Neither is Larry the Dog.
Now Pepsi Phil's making millions and millions of dollars every fucking week.
Just on merch sales alone.
Just saying, bub. Internet conspiracies.
Because it's not.
Which
is what the AEW refs should have thrown up, but instead it's this.
Don't be a part of that now. You know what I mean? Don't be
Not
a part of that.
Which is what they should have. The AEW ref should have thrown was this, but instead it's this. Some X's, which you and I would know about.
No. The internet is not real life, and the bitching and the fucking complaining that's on there is not real life. You could read the internet and it'll sound like this thing is dead. I'll use Cody as an example. Cody's already jumped the shark. He's dead as a babyface. He goes, really? I don't know. I'm in an arena with 10 to 15,000 people every night going ape shit for me, selling the most merchandise. But sure, whatever you want to say on the internet, that's the golden rule. It's just opinion of a few people.
Mm-hmm. Who said that?
That would be some guy that nobody knows named Paul Levesque.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
I know that guy. I have his T-shirt somewhere.
Listen, we're just a lowly little member of the IWC, and our opinions are our opinions alone. Okay.
So I think there's two arguments. There's two sides to this argument. At some point, the argument that the IWC makes is a big deal. Would have made sense, and I think that time that ship maybe has sailed, because I think the IWC has become, and I think we're primarily talking about Twitter or Twix as we like to call it. I think we're primarily talking about Twitter.
Shout out to Eric Bishop.
Yeah, I think we're primarily talking about Twitter. And I think more and more as time goes on, Twitter continues to be less and less real life. I think Twitter especially tends to just be like a lot of hate clicks. I think you get onto Twitter to like hate things and like dislike it and be like, hey, by the way, fuck you on Twitter. I think that's really what Twitter is. It's a lot of Walt's gonna kill himself over there. I think it's a lot of like and it's about viewership, and bad takes get viewership and get like, hey, actually fuck you, like go fuck yourself, kind of stuff. So I think that's really what Twitter has become, is like the app of bad takes. And I think that the money kind of tends to speak for itself, and you don't really want to go away from the money, because if the money's going to Cody Rhodes merch and the money's going to Jey Uso merch and stuff like that, like I think that's what you got to go with. And I think that Twitter particularly is sort of an echo chamber that likes to smell its own farts. So
how did you know?
Because I have eyes. So I think that Twitter is sort of an echo chamber of its own farts, where it's just like, yeah, what Triple H is dropping the ball on everything. Like, we're not at the peak that we were last year, but like
Tony fumbled.
But like, this is far from bad, right? Like we've like, this is far from not good. Like, this is still a pretty good WrestleMania. Everything can't be WrestleMania 40. But this is WrestleMania 41 is still a pretty good WrestleMania. I'll be the first to admit it's not as good as WrestleMania 40. But it's still a pretty good WrestleMania.
I mean, I'm still WrestleMania.
I'm still pretty fucking excited for everything that's happening right now. Huh?
I took the weekend off.
Yeah, as you should have.
Yeah,
we need to talk about that. But anyway, it's still gonna be pretty fucking good. I'm still pretty fucking excited. So like, it's not as good as WrestleMania 40. I mean, no, but like, that doesn't mean it's not good. It's gonna be real good. We're gonna come out of this like, that was amazing, right? Like, we're gonna be like, that was awesome. Like, we're gonna be very excited whenever we talk, whether it's probably like Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know when we're gonna talk next time, but like, we're gonna have had a pretty good time. I can't imagine otherwise. Like, we're gonna have been like, this was a good one. Hopefully we're gonna get some title changes. Some of them they all mean a lot, right? Like, the title changes mean a lot, and they mean a lot moving forward. And I think that's like really, what you want to happen is, like, moving forward, like, this should mean a lot. And while it's not to the level that last year was, everything can't be that, right? Everything can't be the like, oh, we've done this 40 times. This is only 41. Like, we could take a little buh in 41, right? Like, maybe 42 will be just as good as 41, but maybe 43 will be a little better. Who knows? Like, it's like the thought that everything is only better every time is nonsense. Everything ebbs and flows in wrestling. We're a sine wave. We hit the peak last time. We're here somewhere. We're still way up here, and we're still not way down here, which is where we were like in 2019.
Yeah, that was rough.
So it's like, the internet wrestling community is just a sort of a victim of its own success, right? A victim of wrestling's own success. What's happening now is great. It's not as good as last year, but it's still pretty good. And I feel like we're just sort of like, oh, well, it's not as good. And it's like, that's a common criticism, and the internet's always going to be a criticizer, but what it is still good. And we're still going to have a great time. And we're still going to look back at this as like, that was pretty fucking good. We're not going to look at it like it's WrestleMania 7.
Last question. Does Jey Uso versus Gunther deserve to be in a night's main event spot?
Depending on what is going to happen at the end of night one, probably not, because I think the potential.
This is scheduled to open night one.
Right. I think that's probably the best spot for it, because that's a hot start. And I think that a hot start has sort of become kind of, it's not a main event, but I think a hot start has kind of become like, sort of like with the 2-night WrestleMania, you've got 1, 2, 3, right? This is 3. I think this is a solid number 3. This is a solid third roundup. Like, this is the third most important match on WrestleMania weekend. And I think this is the third most important match on WrestleMania weekend.
So you think it's in the right spot opening the show?
Yeah, I think that makes absolute perfect sense. I think this kicks WrestleMania off to a hot start. And I think that it makes the rest of the card better because they are kicking it off to a hot start, and everybody else, they're going to go back and be like, follow that, motherfuckers. And I think that's a very WrestleMania thing. Follow that, motherfuckers. I think that goes back to Macho Man versus Steamboat, or I think that goes back to, Seth Rollins stomping the shit out of Brock Lesnar, kicking the mat, like kicking WrestleMania. A visibly pissed off Brock Lesnar showing up, getting the shit stomped out of him in 2 minutes by Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. What was that? 2022, 21, something like that. Beast Slayer type stuff. I think it's a very harken back to like, hey, we have a match that is going to be so fucking hot. This is going to get everybody riled up. Like, this is what gets everybody excited about WrestleMania. And I think that over the years has become not, I want to say as important, because there's a 1-2 kind of most important, but it's number 3. And I think this fits that number 3 slot perfectly. And
I like it.
I'm excited to see it.
Very eloquently put. Well, Tom, only one thing left. That's the world famous One Fall WrestleCast match of the week. I'm cheating. You're going to be mad at me. Not really, but my match of the week was the Gauntlet match on Friday Night SmackDown for the number 1 contender for the women's tag team titles. Going into this, I had no idea what was going to go on. I had no idea what was going to happen. And I love when that happens because I kind of always have an idea. No idea. Going into this, it was like Lyra and Bayley were a tag team, and I was like, we fucking serious with this? And then, they fought sort of some hodgepodge tag teams, including Dupree. Maxine and Natalia.
Dupree and Natty. Natty continues to be buried. When Natty came out, I even said, "Does Natty still work here?" And they had matching gear, and I guess that was a thing where they were like upset about it. But man, was that cool? Like it took up most of 45 minutes of Friday night, and I thought it was great. I had a great time. I thought it was a great match. I thought Bayley and Lyra looked great the whole time because, like, you could tell as like the night went on, like they were fucking gassed, but like they were selling it. Like when they got hit, it was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Please don't hit me anymore. But it was like so good, and then they pulled out the win. It was one of those things that was like going in. I was like, I can't. This is nonsense. Like going into it, I was not on board, but by the end I was on board, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, you got me. And therefore, match of the week, because I did not expect, although it really didn't go, like they both clearly like are conditioned enough to go 40 minutes, especially with commercial breaks and shit in there, because like there were matches in between. They got to take little breaks, have sips of water, like it wasn't like they were like doing the Tour de France or anything like that. It was a very televised doable thing, but they fucking killed it, and everybody involved fucking killed it.
Nice.
And Great match, top to bottom. If you've not watched it, please watch it, top to bottom. It was. You'll go into this like, what the Tom is a fucking idiot. Why is he talking about this shit? And by the end of it, you're like, oh, I get it. They really fucking tied this together in a way that they should not have been able to. But somehow, magic.
Yeah, I might have fallen asleep during that because I definitely fell asleep.
There were commercial breaks. The commercial breaks were especially because especially if you started it late. But like we were on time, we were watching it on TV on cable, so I was like ready to fucking go because it was like 8:30. I'm not falling asleep at 8:30.
Well, I don't watch wrestling at normal hour.
8:30 p.m. It was great, fantastic. I'm glad I caught it live because otherwise I may not have loved it as much as I did. But I'm glad I caught it live.
Well, if you're still here, hit the thumbs up button. We appreciate you. Maybe even consider subscribing. That would be awesome. My match of the week was Penta versus Dom Mysterio. Major WrestleMania implications for the Intercontinental Championship. Not a bad little match, you know. I think that those two kind of have a similar lucha style. You know, there was a lot of hubbub that Penta no-sold the Mexican Destroyer and then no-sold a 619, but I mean I watched him sell those things. I don't know what that was.
He got the
all
knees
about.
up. I think it was the frog splash. He got the
the
knees
frog
up.
splash. He got the knees up, but the clip specifically said Penta no-selling the Mexican Destroyer in the 619.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He sold those like
because the 619 led to the frog splash, which led to the knees up, which led to the small package, which led to the win, which led to the death of Carlito. Rest in peace, Carlito. That's not cool.
Carlito. That's not cool.
He took to Twitter on Tuesday to announce that his funeral was on Friday. So we did miss that, and Carlito, we're sorry, but I did tweet you back so that you could get the engagement on your post. But I'm sorry that you met your untimely demise via Braun Breaker and
via the greatest spear that has ever been given. Like, good God, what a good spear!
Penta's gonna win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, though.
See, I want Dom to win it.
I think Finn might win it too.
I feel like
I think Braun Breaker is going to be Jey Uso's first challenger for the World Championship.
That'd be fantastic. Love to see that. Would love to see any of the three other guys actually win the Intercontinental title. If I'm being, I kind of hope that Dom wins it, and that ends up being what breaks up Judgment Day. But it really could go any way, and all three ways. And that's what I really love about this is that like any of the three guys who are not champion winning it makes all of this fantastic.
I'm here for all of it, especially Braun Breaker getting a little bit of love on the back end. I'm here for it. Sign me up. Really looking forward to WrestleMania this weekend. You know, we got a little bit late start. I don't know what we're going to do about next week, folks. Tom clearly did the math that I took the weekend off, which means I'm going to have to work on said podcast day. We might hit you with maybe a late edition Monday again, 2 weeks in a row, Tom.
That might be fine. I mean, I could start at 9 on Monday.
Okay. We'll tentatively put that into the atmosphere that we will be here next Monday at 9 p.m., maybe a little bit after. Depends on what my life throws at me on Monday evening. But we will put that on the books and look forward to having a rousing conversation about WrestleMania.
I mean, we could always try for 9 on Tuesday. That'd be crazy.
Tuesday's a no-go for me, bub.
Never mind.
Off the fucking table.
Never mind.
Monday or bust, pal. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, then Monday it is.
And we've got to have we've got to have a WrestleMania recap.
Maybe it waits till Wednesday or Friday or Thursday.
We'll figure it out.
We shall.
We shall.
Many
we
days in a week.
We always do. We always do.
So many days in a week.
Yeah. So like I
Happy to
said,
clear my calendar.
yeah. You know, I mean, it's not like we have kids in sports, and you know,
They're back by 9 p.m. They're little. It's like we're fucking playing baseball at 10:30. Hopefully.
listen, our practice got canceled, got called early because there were some lightning strikes. The storm moved through. We went and had a bite to eat. We were driving back past the ball fields. Some of them kids were out there practicing in the rain. Looked like the travel team.
I mean, it was probably the travel team.
So I don't know.
Those kids, they don't cancel practice for travel ball. That's why.
Shit's wild.
That shit's why. It's
and like it's fun to watch my wife become a sports mom, right? Like it's like Carson fucking around in the dirt today, and I'm just like, this fucking boy. She's like, hey, you need to fucking pay attention. Get your hands on your knees. Getting that ready. I'm like, who are you?
Get your glove up.
Get your hand.
Fix your hat.
Squat. What's the matter with you?
Tuck your shit in.
Damn.
You're like fixing your hat, tucking your shit in. Like, what happened here?
I'm like, baby, I don't have a hat on. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm not wearing gloves. It's 86 degrees.
You talking to him?
I didn't.
You talking to him?
Then we get in the car to go to dinner. Oh, you did so good at practice, babe.
You were gonna kill him.
What was that fucking demon that was sitting at the picnic table?
She was up on the cage, like, I could see you. Get your glove up.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, says, worst comment of the podcast, I think Finn can win the Intercontinental Championship.
Only if he steals it from Dom.
Nah, he's trying to poke at me. He's trying to side with you because he thinks that you walk on water and that your opinions in wrestling are always the greatest. And
I mean, I just like that.
You know,
being honest,
it's just
I would like to see that.
I see what's happening here.
If I'm being honest, I would like to see Finn win, but I kind of want to see Finn win and screw Dom, because like Dom has not been sympathetic, but I think Dom is maybe set up to be a little bit sympathetic and to be a little bit fucking screwed and to be a little bit pissed about it. And I think that just like, I do too. If Dom wins it and like Finn loses his shit, I think that's even better. But like the other way, I think is cool. So like, but I mean, maybe they just want to put it on Penta and like have them fight, otherwise, like because like they fucked with each other. And like Penta won because they were being dicks to each other about it. And they're like, we're supposed to be friends. One of us should have the title and it's on Pentagon because fuck you. No, fuck you. Like that would be cool too. But like, I would rather see it be for a title. But even if it's not, like there's so many good, it's either way, there's 3 good ways it goes. And it's like, regardless of how it happens, I'm here for it. And I'm just going to like watch like this moving forward. And I feel like that's Triple H is like kind of always
excellent.
Exactly. Triple H has always kind of been a favorite of mine. And I feel like he's just going to pander to me. And because he really has been. If we're being serious, I'm feeling very pandered to,
bro.
So I feel like I'm going to get pandered to again. Write it down.
Can't take
and when it happens, I'm going to tell you
this.
Walt, they pandered to me again. Again, he pandered to me.
You know what? Go put your kids to bed. Listen, hey, follow us over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. Check us out wherever you listen to your podcasts. All right. If you don't want to make appointment YouTube time, besides that, fucking doesn't matter. We're here Sundays. We're here Mondays. Whenever we can get it in, we get our shit in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Really looking forward to WrestleMania this weekend. Should be a fucking blasty blast. Great time. Hopefully we can make something happen for night one. And yeah. So as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. That was a pretty good one, huh?
Was.